Hello, everybody. Welcome to another episode of the Alter Ego Podcast, episode 146. I'm your host, Jack Austin. With me, as always, is Mr. Ryan.
How's it going? How are you doing today?
Doing great, buddy. How are you?
I'm fantastic.
And from the land of enchantment, the Great White North, we have Mr. Wisco Rhino.
Hello.
How you doing?
Doing great.
He's being abnormally standoffish. And we have the Italian stallion with us, Mr. Nello, who's pointing at his shirt for you out there in audio land.
Forza Inter!
And that means...
Go Inter.
Oh, okay.
They made the Champions League final today. I'm excited.
Did they? That's cool. So, in other news, we're back.
Chet, where did you get matches? No, you can't play with matches.
Okay, sorry. Happy Mother's Day, belated to all of our mommies out there. We hope you had a great weekend. Anybody do anything fun for Mother's Day? Yeah.
Took the wife and kids to the park, and then we walked around downtown Port Washington, got some ice cream.
I'm sorry.
It was a good day.
And I know you didn't. It just makes me like you say, took the wife and kids to the park, and I imagine Darcy on the swing set or on the monkey bars. Thanks, Rhino. No, I know you didn't do that. What about you, Mr. Ryan? What'd you do?
I did absolutely nothing on Sunday. No,
good.
I lied. I went out
Sunday.
Sunday.
Like fun.
Saw Guardians Sunday is what I did.
Hey, that is our subject matter for today. How about you, Mr. Nello? What'd you do? You worked, right?
I worked.
Did your mom work with you?
Yeah.
That sucks.
She's been working for a lot of Mother's Days.
Yeah, these things happen.
What'd you do for Mother's Day, big guy?
We took the whole family out to lunch. Her family showed up, and we just went out and had a great time. Kendall went out there. One with Kendall in the right. As I give her the airplane. Who wants a burger? Oh boy.
So you had a good day.
I'm not going to talk too loud because she's coming in here after we record this episode for a beating. Yeah, she's here for one person, and that's you.
Fine. Okay, let's go.
Yeah,
let's do
today
it. I'm ready. It's
today the big versus.
Right.
It's finally happening. You're here.
I'll bet a Buffalo nickel that says you don't have notes.
Oh.
I had them.
I look over, I see him accessing the browser on his laptop.
I had them last week, man.
Batman.
Oh no, the week before. I had them the week before, and then something happened. And now
on your computer, something happened where you can't save notes, where you can't copy paste and put it in a Word document.
I'm not worried about it. I remember what I was going to say.
Forgot his floppy disk at home.
What he's going to say. The thing is that Batman is a detective.
Hey, did you bring your respirator, bro?
What I need my respirator for?
You're about to get all the smoke.
I'm so ready for her to bring this damn Punisher boot. Let's go. I ain't worried about it.
Yes. So to add clarity for those of you who have not been here for the past couple of weeks, there is a versus getting recorded right after this that will be exclusively on our YouTube, and it is Mr. Frank Castle going up against none other than Mr. Bruce Wayne.
Hey, who does the editing for these things? Is it you, Rhino?
Yep.
Yeah. We need
it's Chet. Don't take away his credit.
I'm mad at Chet right now.
The clips of the black guy that every time he speaks afterwards, it has to say, you done fucked up, right? And just have that clip play every single time. And then just have Megan go in on him.
Just grab that.
I'm gonna add the bruh.
And what else we'll add is it's like, all right, Megan, it's your turn. And then cut to Kevin Hart. It's about to go down. I don't know if I would want to battle her.
I was going to say,
she always gets so prepared.
The underdog.
That's exactly it.
And then I'm just sitting there going, well, Ghost Rider is a guy with a motorbike.
Yeah, it wouldn't matter the matchup. I don't want that smoke at all.
Y'all
I could be completely favored. And
you're not scared?
None.
Never.
You don't even wear geared hardware.
No.
The rugged yet stylish accessory for anyone who's always on the go, whether it's a board meeting or a bar fight or a versus match on Alter Ego. It's made with high quality materials and backed up by a lifetime warranty. You can rest assured that 3 things are going to happen. The sun will rise and set. You're going to get your ass whooped by Megan, and that your geared hardware watch will be there for you when you need it most. Go to www.gearedhardware.com. Use promo code AlterEgo20 to get 20% off your order. Okay, let's get into it. Let's get into a little bit of news. I thought it would be nice, since it was recently Mother's Day, for us to go over some of our favorite comic book, anime, whatever moms that are out there. Anybody have any that recently had big unveilings? Like really iconic characters in comic books that are recently announcing that they're a parent?
Like talking about Jessica Jones?
A-tier icons that have been in comics for ever.
Oh, Wonder Woman.
Wonder Woman
Had a baby?
Yeah.
Yep. And
Oh,
she's
yeah,
making her debut in the next Wonder Woman comic. Wonder Woman, was it 400?
800.
800, yeah.
Yeah, and introduces Trinity, Diana's daughter. Congratulations to Wonder Woman. Although Trinity is being introduced as looks like a teenager or even a young adult.
Yeah, yeah.
So she's not going to come out.
I wonder I'm interested to see who the father is.
Yeah. Yeah, me too. God, could you imagine?
If it's Bruce?
Oh, even worse.
Yeah.
Oh man, if she was a Kryptonian and an Amazon, oh my God,
Maury's gonna have his hands full with that one.
Yeah.
Oh my God, yeah. Kryptonian and Amazonian, wow.
But yeah, famous mothers that have been in comics, man. My first one that comes to my mind is Jessica Jones. I don't know why. It's just always Jessica Jones.
I think one of the most badass moms in comics is Sue Storm.
Really?
Well, she gave birth to
Franklin,
arguably the most powerful mutant that exists in all of Marvel.
Depending on who's writing it, but you're absolutely right. He is S tier. Franklin Richards is one of the most powerful beings in comics. What about the one who lost her kids and said no more mutants?
Scarlet Witch.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's a big one, right?
Oh, mine wasn't comic related.
What was yours?
Definitely The Bride, Uma Thurman.
Oh yeah.
y'all sleeping on
Bill's
on Goku's wife, bro.
Bulma?
Chi-Chi.
Not Bulma, Chi-Chi.
Yeah.
Chi-Chi cooked the badass dinners, and she had a badass fighter kids. I mean, 2 for 1.
Well, so did Bulma. Bulma was the CEO of Capsule Corp, and she gave birth to Trunks.
And was the richest woman on earth.
Listen, I don't care.
But Chi-Chi cooks better.
Did she fight a whole gang of people called the Crazy 88s? I don't think so.
No, she didn't. I mean, we're not sleeping on any of them. There's no wrong answers here, truly. I mean, I'm just trying to think of some really good obscure ones. I'm kind of looking around my room here. And
How about Martha?
Martha!
Must save Martha.
Who are terrible moms in the Marvel? I'm looking at Mystique, and she's prime candidate.
She killed her own daughter.
Had the baby, was like, get out of here. And not to mention Nightcrawler, who she had and was like, he'll be fine.
He's on his own. Adios.
He'll be fine. See you
Ciao.
later. I have no time for you.
Yeah, man. Who is a
That's
bad
a good
mom?
question. Who is a bad mom?
Who are
Mystique,
bad
definitely
moms?
a bad mom.
Mystique for sure. Geez, I can't think of a lot more right now, just off the top of my head as I look around this fantastic room.
I'm sure the listeners at home will help us with this.
Yeah,
whole
please
bad
do.
mom, dude.
Please do. So yeah, happy Mother's Day. I don't know who else we could talk about here. I think.
How about Rey's mom from Star Wars? Just left her on that shithole of a planet.
Right. Here you go. Take my clone.
But he protected her, or if she protected her from Palpatine or whatever.
Okay.
Right?
I hear you. I agree
Wasn't that
with
the
you.
whole point of leaving her there?
It's always so silly. But yeah, if we're talking about good moms, Leia was a good mom. To the end.
True.
Jeez. In other DC news, Superman Legacy has had its contenders reportedly revealed for cast members of that movie. I have a couple of them here. Interestingly enough, you, sir, have sent one to the group saying that he is rumored to be Superman, and he's rumored to be Lex Luthor in the same breath.
Hey, I just find things, and I
can't see him being either.
I could see him being Superman for sure.
I don't know. He looked good as Lex Luthor.
I mean, he's a very talented actor. What's his name? Nicholas Hoult. He's in a movie or a show that's being watched a lot in my house now, and I don't know what it is.
I'm gonna say I don't know who that is.
Yeah, I don't know any of the folks who are being reportedly cast, and you know what? That lets me know it's probably going to be good.
Dave Bautista as Lex Luthor is a solid no for me.
Big solid no.
He's too big.
Yeah.
He's too big. He's a lot older because they're supposed to be somewhat close in age. And
I also don't think he has the range for that.
I don't. What range do you need for Lex Luthor?
You need to be witty. You need to be. You need to come across as if you're actually intelligent in real life.
Well, he can do that.
Bro,
I mean, he just has been kind of typecasted. I haven't seen the Cabin in the Woods yet, but most of his stuff, he's actually been pretty good. I think it's actually just physical for me why I don't think Dave could do it. I need somebody who doesn't look like they could win a fight to play Lex Luthor.
Especially against Superman.
For sure. I mean, when you see any of these little actors standing next to Dave, you're automatically like, okay, this is pretend.
I really thought Jesse Eisenberg played a great Lex Luthor.
I
disagree 110%.
Disagree.
I loved him. Now he had that mental edge to him where like he was borderline criminally insane, and he was a genius.
I like Jesse Eisenberg. I like him a lot. I did not like him as because Zombieland's one of my favorite movies. I just did not like him as Lex Luthor. I needed a lot more confidence.
I need
a
charisma
lot less
that
crazy.
He didn't have.
I don't want criminally insane for my Lex Luthor. I want calculated. I want calm. He's not freaking out even when Superman's right in front of him.
Oh, you want Jeff Bezos?
Well, he did have that moment in Batman versus Superman where he had Doomsday in front of him and didn't freak out.
Well, that's because he was controlling him.
Well, there was no controlling Doomsday though.
I'm just saying from the ship, from Doomsday's ship, he was controlling it, which is probably why even if he should have been, he wasn't worried. So yeah, that's what we got for DC right now. I'm really excited to see some more stuff come out from them. I know Flash is right around the corner.
Which I am starting to slowly lose faith in that movie. The more and more I see, like the villain just looks like dog shit.
I haven't even seen the villain yet.
Oh my god, it looks like a crustacean from under the sea.
Has it been shown in any of the advertisements?
No, not the trailers or anything, but there have been toys and actually there was a foreign trailer. I think it was the Japanese trailer or one of those trailers came out that showed him, and he looks like shit.
Does he look like a giant crab?
I love seeing the Japanese trailers for movies that I like.
They literally just show the entire movie in the trailer. It's like, here's all the cool shit you'll see.
That's why I don't watch trailers.
You know, my nephew's the same way. I just can't. I have to watch the trailer. Let's move on to some movies and TV news, shall we? Two companies that you probably knew were owned by the same people are starting to merge. Disney Plus and Hulu are becoming one app. Now, I don't know too many details on this story. Are they going under the Disney Plus logo?
Yes.
Or are they're not merging into one because Disney Plus.
Disney One is going to start showing a lot of the Hulu content on Disney Plus as part of a one app experience, is what Bob Iger called it.
Gotcha. It's so smart. It's so smart to do that. As long as they're not, like really amping up the price point for it. Because
the cool thing from what I sorry about that. The cool thing that I read is if you're just a Hulu subscriber, you don't have Disney Plus, they're not separating that, or they are separating that. They're not combining that. So Hulu will still be a thing in the future. They're just adding all of the Hulu content to Disney Plus to make it one app.
Isn't there a deal that right now, if you're like, if you either have ESPN, Disney Plus, or Hulu, you can get all three. You have access to all three.
All I know is I
pay that price.
One bundle.
I pay for Hulu TV, and I like it.
You have so there's a bundle for the three of them that you have to pay, and I think it's like $23 a month, but you can do each one individually for I think it's $12.99 a month.
Right. I don't know. I think that's a good thing. I think the less streaming services we have, the better, because I liken streaming services to the Disney Xbox exclusive stuff. Like the more they have cool stuff on an app that I don't want to pay for, the more pissed off I get. The less and less I want to be a subscriber.
Yeah, I also I'm lazy as shit and I don't like switching apps.
That's a big fact.
I'm surprised Netflix is still around for us, honestly. Once The Office left, I have almost no inkling to watch anything on Netflix.
I don't know, man.
I haven't watched Netflix in months, dude.
I watched Florida Man on Netflix. That was pretty good.
I watch the Chef Show with John Leguizamo. What's his name? Oh my God. Favreau, thank you.
Okay.
Thank you.
Yeah.
We've got Mr. Ryan. Okay. So, anime. You're our resident anime guy.
Yeah.
What do you know about Yu-Gi-Oh?
that I'm actually watching it somewhat on the side right now.
No way.
Yeah.
Yu-Gi-Oh's your side piece?
Oh yeah, watching it all over again.
You're clapping those anime
How's
cheeks?
that going? I wouldn't mind rewatching Yu-Gi-Oh.
It's going pretty good.
I would mind watching Yu-Gi-Oh. But there's
Here's
a
a question about Yu-Gi-Oh. Was it a card game before an anime, or was it an anime before a card game?
This was the game first, right?
I believe it was an anime first and then the card game. came
Really?
out.
I thought it was the
But
other way around
anime,
too.
the anime is actually a card game, which
Yeah.
is why it makes
The
sense.
actual card game came out.
Nobody's
I've never watched or played either of them.
So in Yu-Gi-Oh, let me ask.
It's one of the reasons I
when
don't
they
like Marvel Snap.
when they fight, do they play cards on each other, and
Yeah.
the card's ability comes to life, and it happens?
Yes and no. Well,
Nobody
they have-
messes with my blue eyes dragon.
So what they do is
Ever.
they have these little things that they have on their arms that are like card readers, and then you go to an arena type thing, and
They go to a physical arena.
at first, and then there's points in time where
They
they
go to
walk
alternate
around the city and
dimensions
they
and
have
stuff.
little disc things that come out. But basically, your card gets played, it gets displayed there, and then they do their attacks.
Oh, so you play a card and like the monsters or the
monsters
creatures
show up,
in your
yep.
card fight each other.
And then the card
Okay.
game comes out. Yeah,
So it's kind of like Pokemon. When you throw a Pokeball out, your Pokemon does the battling.
Didn't
Yeah.
they fight for souls at one point? Because he was like a pharaoh. 'cause
I
his-
think
his,
so. I
like-
think that's where I originally ended when they started to introduce all the like Ra and
yeah,
Sliver and all
because
those.
his
Yeah.
pyramid thing means something or is something. I remember.
So that's where I ended off the first time. So now I'm gonna watch it all the way.
Shang
Through to the
Tsung,
end.
baby.
I remember.
So apparently there is a horrific monster burger from that show that's being actually made due to what was it, like the 8th anniversary of the show.
Well, I think like the 20th anniversary.
Yeah, dude, I started
Six.
watching Yu-Gi-Oh when I was a kid. Like, I started watching that like
Yeah.
in high school, maybe even earlier than that.
Huh. Yeah, definitely got to look up the anniversary. But that begged the question, and you said it earlier. What universe would you like the food from to be real?
Ooh, snap!
Oh man.
Right? Because my mind instantly goes to exactly what you said: Dragon Ball Z.
DBZ had some of the best looking food.
DBZ. Every time I watch that, I'd be like, "And I'm hungry."
Right?
Man,
It
like
looks
those
so good.
monster, like the monster ham legs that Goku was always eating off of.
Right.
Yeah.
It's
They're
like
always
going,
they're
like,
always
12
downing
bowls.
a whole ham in one bite.
12 bowls deep. Like
25th anniversary,
Jeez, Louise.
not
Yeah.
8th.
Yeah, I was gonna say it's got to be like 25 years. or
Yeah.
something like
You were
that.
close.
Yeah. So I don't know. Dragon Ball Z for me, for sure, always had the
Yeah.
most appetizing looking food of any show.
What about Always Sunny? They have rum ham. Drink, you get drunk and you get fed all at once.
Milk steak.
Yeah.
That
No,
sounds
thank you.
gross.
It sounds disgusting. No, I'm gonna go with DBZ. How about you?
Probably Naruto. My man's always crushing
Naruto.
good looking ramen. I'm like, yo, that shit like looks pretty good. You know, eating curry and barbecue all
Yeah.
the time. And I'm
How
like,
about those big feasts at Hogwarts?
Ooh, that's a good one.
Yeah, but you don't know
Yeah.
if it's
No.
real or not.
And it magically shows up.
at
Yeah.
that point, at that point,
Could you
Hook-
imagine if you just had a wand? And Nello, think about it. All the hours you could save working when if you just had a wand and you could
Wand.
get a calzone out to somebody.
But like Hook, like when they imagine all that food on that table, all those kids.
So here's the caveat to that is I'm imagining the food from DBZ as being in front of me, right? Like nothing that's in my imagination is gonna make anything new, right?
That's
What
true.
movie was it with the genie? Was it Kazam? Where the dude asked for snacks and all of a sudden they started raining from the ceiling, like burgers and candy
sounds
bars
fair.
and stuff?
That sounds like a Shaq movie.
Yes,
Probably.
definitely a shock.
That sounds
movie.
like a Shaq movie.
Yeah.
There's actually an anime on Netflix where he's like an ex Yakuza guy and then he becomes like a household husband and he makes some baller ass meals. It's pretty good.
Shaq does?
No, this other anime that I'm
Oh,
watching.
okay.
Oh man, I was
we
excited
all
for a second. I
thought
thought
you
you
were
meant
Shaq.
Shaq.
oh, I was like, oh, shit.
I would have watched that just for Shaq.
Yeah.
I like the ribs. Ribs. are
Shaq and the Yakuza. Shaq gonna leave the Yakuza.
Hey baby, I'm gonna make some ramen tonight. Shaq's gonna make some ramen.
If the Yakuza shows up, Shaq's gonna fight them after eating all this ramen.
I'm gonna slam dunk this bowl of ramen and go fight some Yakuza right now.
Hey, Chuck, I'm gonna
Chuck.
ring Chuck.
Charles, you couldn't eat as many bowls of ramen as me ever.
Oh man.
We got no
So
championships.
we're up on this high note. Let's bring us down a little bit. Spy Kids is getting a reboot.
Oh, great.
What a
All right.
transition.
Way to just fucking kill the show. Bye, everybody.
I don't know why.
First of all, the disrespect to Spy Kids.
Oh, be quiet. Give me a break. Come
No.
on.
never seen a frame of it.
Neither have I. Didn't that have that had Antonio Banderas in it? Didn't it?
Banderas. I was like, he's really
I
trying to come
thought that
back
was the
super
one that
hard.
had Vin Diesel, but that's the pacifier.
That's the pacifier.
Yeah. No, Spy Kids had Antonio Banderas, and I can't remember the woman's name.
I don't
But
know.
yeah.
But speaking of, let's keep this bad train going. Lindsay Lohan and Jamie Lee Curtis coming back for a Freaky Friday sequel.
Bro, those are fighting words over here. You know that, right?
Jamie Lee
why?
Curtis, yeah.
Mean
Back
Girls
in the
is his
day.
movie, not Freaky Friday.
It's pretty close.
Freaky Fridays. That was not a great movie.
It doesn't need
The
to
first
happen.
time. I don't need to see a second one.
And let's be honest, Lindsay Lohan isn't the reason that Mean Girls is good. Is she?
No.
She's part of it, but yeah.
I mean,
Get in, losers. We're doing sequels.
Yeah.
Yeah, no, not really. Yeah, that's pretty much it. I don't have anything going on. How about you? Nope, not me.
Hey, Lindsay, you need a paycheck? You want to make this movie?
Lynnsy's like,
It's
yeah,
like a shitty remake of a movie.
I'm
from
running
30
out of
years ago.
drugs. No,
She just had a baby recently, so I don't
did
think
she really?
She
Oh, well, that's good.
did.
And that is mean. I'm sorry,
because
Lindsay.
no one's ever done drugs while they were pregnant.
Shh. Well, I can't get so that's
Vin Diesel says that Fast 10 could be a trilogy.
Why? I'm
Oh.
so sick of these fucking movies.
because
Vin
people
Diesel
actually
just-
go watch them for some
Vin Diesel
fucking
just
reason.
likes the shot of the
Bro.
camera coming into the car, looking at him holding the handheld microphone while he talks about family and how you'll never get him.
And then shifting his 17-speed transmission.
Yeah,
Well, I remember the
he does
first
shift a
one
lot more than I thought he would.
Yeah.
when it was just racing.
Right.
That was fun.
We were just racing, and
And
we
then they
were
turned into
actually-
international spies.
we were having to hijack these trucks because we weren't making money, and so we were doing that. That's how we got on the FBI's radar. That was believable. Now it's like, Vin, forget the army, we need you and your team of ragtag car drivers.
Yeah.
You know,
like
we have the CIA, but you'd be better suited for this.
I love yeah.
You know, I'm a 3-time Formula One champion, right? Like,
Right.
how about me? Put me in a car. Nah, bro, you don't got family.
He's
And
not family.
and
He
the
can't
the,
be in the car.
the reason they always want them is like some black tie, dark faced guy is going to come out and go, we need it off the books. That's why we need you and your team. Here's $8 billion. Make it happen.
You want to talk about somebody that gets
Yeah.
paid off making these movies? Tyrese is just like in everyone, and he just keeps like cashing that check.
Wouldn't
Needs
you?
to.
But like
That's all he's got.
I sent a post in the group chat when we were talking about what to talk about today, and it's like, how do you 3 actors, Jason Statham, The Rock, and Vin Diesel, all discuss like, oh, you get punched 5 times, I'll get punched 3. Like, how does that work?
It's all about image. These guys don't want to look like the weaker person of the 3 because they all have images outside of this franchise that they want to uphold. Vin being the leader of the pack because it's his damn movie. He's the one making all the money off of it. And then The Rock being The Rock and Jason Statham being a mega action star. So if you want him to be your mega action star, he wants to go out there and flex the muscle. He wants to kick somebody's ass for you. He doesn't want to show up to get his ass whooped. There's no point in that.
My money's on Jason
That's-
beating both of them.
Me too.
Well, that's what I was gonna say. Like Jason Statham versus The Rock. I mean, yeah, The Rock's gonna have a little bit of a advantage at first, but I think Jason Statham's knowledge of fighting is gonna outdo The Rock. I mean, you can't just beat somebody with brawn.
In real life, Vin Diesel is the one that's getting his ass kicked 100
Hardcore
out of
by
100,
both of
right?
them.
100%. I think Michelle Rodriguez would beat the shit out of Vin Diesel.
Ooh.
All I know is that it's one of those things, man.
Letty.
Jason Statham definitely is going to win that fight of all 3 of those guys, in my humblest of opinions. Yeah, The Rock is a big dude, but I've never seen big Jack Diesel dudes that could actually fight.
But out of 100 times,
Facts.
Rock will get him 20 to 25 times. Because he'll catch him. He's got to catch him at least once, right?
He's got to catch him. You are correct. He
And if
does have
The
to do
Rock
that.
catches him with one of those damn bear claws and like that damn arm that's like 7 times a regular human arm, he's gonna hurt him. Because of the size.
Yeah, but see the problem with that, the problem with Dwayne is that you're exchanging speed for size. Jason Statham is a small dude and he's very quick. I don't think catching him would be the way he would win that fight. I literally think like grabbing him and grappling him on the ground would be the way he would win that
You'd have
fight.
to Zangief
Because
his ass and pick him
Statham would
up.
have
That's
He's not gonna catch him with a right hook or something like that. I mean, Jason Statham's gonna get out of the way of that, just like the Flash would if Batman were punching him.
Not to mention, I'd love to see those two go into the deep water and see who's still standing up. Let's move on. Beetlejuice 2, another useless movie that doesn't
All
need to
right,
happen.
you call
Coming
me.
out-
I'm excited about that
Calm
one.
yourself with this useless stuff. Michael Keaton
it's
is
the
never in anything
same
useless.
thing, man. It's the same deal. This one worked. Let's just wait 50 years and do it again.
Jenna Ortega, come on,
Bro.
it's not a bad cast.
Oh, Jenna Ortega. Now I give a shit.
You know the last time I saw Beetlejuice.
Winona Ryder.
You know the last time I saw Beetlejuice was
When
I originally saw it in fucking theaters when I was a kid.
It doesn't hold up.
I remember being at like the rec center and them throwing it on and being like, oh, okay, Beetlejuice. It just doesn't.
My wife just watched it recently. I'm like, this movie's dumb. The only thing I liked was the stupid that music.
I'll tell you this though,
Daylight
Michael Keaton
coming
is
on
a
the road.
very talented actor. I don't think I've seen him do anything that he personally that I didn't like. You're correct in that. It's just, why are we still bringing up these fossils so that people can go, oh, this one's got Jenna Ortega. She was Wednesday. Oh, Beetlejuice. This whole movie's going to be great. Spare me.
The cartoon was good though.
They've got
When we were
nothing to
kids,
do.
the Beetlejuice cartoon was good. Okay, are we in agreement on that at least?
No. You need to tag a "in my opinion" on the back of that one,
Oh.
buddy.
No, I asked the question. I said, "What do you guys think of that cartoon?" You can't say it was a bad cartoon.
It was
in
on
the
Saturday
90s.
mornings, and I had nothing else to watch. I was broke. I didn't have
There you
cable.
go. How about that?
Wow.
I would be willing to bet you a buffalo nickel that says if you sat down and watched that cartoon right now, you would fucking hate it.
What?
It was cool to you as a 6-year-old.
How many buffalo nickels you got sitting over there?
What is the
I
value?
got Chet is counting them right now. I've got 2 jars of them.
Chet's second job is to make buffalo nickels.
buffalo nickels.
Chet's got a press over there. He's just
What
making
point?
buffalo
What
nickels.
point? He's
That's
just
To
it.
be honest, between you guys and I, he's not listening right now. I'm pretty sure he's been pocketing my buffalo nickels for the last 2 weeks.
I'm
He's
about
got
to
to have at least 75 cents in his pocket.
Of nickels.
Chet's
That's a-
getting called for
That's a loud walk out of the room with 75. What's in your pocket, Chet? I don't know.
Is Chet like? Does he live by your furnace with a chain around his neck? Like what's
It's none of your business, and I'd appreciate it if you stayed on my personal affairs.
One can only hope. Super Mario Bros. Is coming to digital tomorrow.
I'm
Today
excited.
is the 16th that we're recording this. If you're hearing this on the 16th, hey, you're cool. You're awesome, but it's coming out on the 17th. I don't know if I'm going to be purchasing it early on digital.
I
I
am.
really want the DVD.
Wow,
What?
you
The
still
who?
own DVDs?
Yeah, man.
Do you have a
Man.
DVD player still?
Yeah, it's called an Xbox Series X.
Oh, okay, touche.
Yeah, I'm excited. I can't wait to see this movie again.
I actually am a part of the old school that still exists where I actually like collecting the special edition Blu-rays.
And that's one of them that I would collect the special edition
Yeah.
Blu-rays. 'Cause I'd love
Like
to
I've got almost all the Marvel movies on Blu-ray.
Jeez, calm down, boomer. It's 2023, bro. We stream
You
shit around
can't,
here.
he can't even argue because he just talked about $75 worth of buffalo nickels. He's just like, shut up.
Ugh.
You're dumb.
Think I'm over right now.
Oh
Anyways.
my
It's
god.
even
Oh
funnier.
man, dude, let me tell you.
Shit, he
something.
got me.
Oh my goodness. All right. So we've got a lot to talk about in terms of gaming. Not a lot for Marvel news, but we are getting into Guardians of the Galaxy Volume 3. So what I think we're going to do is we're going to take a quick break here. We're going to jump into gaming, and then we're going to talk a little bit of Guardians. So we will see you on the other side of this commercial break. All right. 28.50.
I'll actually give Nella the benefit of the doubt here because I was highly critical of Fortnite at first for that exact reason. It looked too childish to me. It looked too cartoony, and that's exactly why I didn't give it a shot. But then our friend Matt was like, "Oh, hey, by the way, there's no build in this mode," and I was like, "Come again?"
Yeah. Shout out
It's
to
like, yeah,
Matt.
this one has no build, and so we gave it a shot and instantly got hooked on it.
Yeah. It was
No
pretty
builds does
crazy.
make it more playable than with the builds, but I think it's more because like these kids, these younger kids are just like click. They like build so fast. It's kind of like ridiculous.
It doesn't matter. The kids, you damn kids out there in Fortnite land, they've got their PCs that they got for Christmas, and they are just doming everybody.
Yeah.
You're gonna run into that, but overall, the game is still fun.
I did like the Dragon Ball Z aspect of it. I did play that for a little bit,
Yeah.
the Kamehameha and stuff.
I'm just
but-
That's the
Go ahead.
I was going to say that's the one thing that this game has over any other first-person shooter is the cosmetic aspect that comes into play. It's not just some random-looking cosmetic you could throw on your guy to make him look more soldierish or anything like that. I mean, they got DC, Marvel, Star Wars.
Star Wars event going on right now.
And I'm not gonna lie, that's one of the other things that I hate about it too. Like you can ride on Nimbus if you paid the $10 and
That's
use
false.
that to your advantage.
No, they had Nimbus in the game, dude. You didn't have to buy anything.
For free. You would just like you had to like go.
Now,
to
if you
wherever
want
it
the
was.
cosmetic, yeah, sure, you've got to pay to use it, but I don't care. I don't have that cosmetic. I just get what I want. Like
There
this
is
Star
no
Wars
gaming
event-
advantage with money in that game.
Right. The Star Wars event going on right now is very, very cool. Like you have these outposts with different Star Wars weapons. You can find Jedi ghosts around the map. You can walk up to them and earn their force power and their lightsaber. You can go find Darth Vader on the map and go fight him if you want to get terrified one-on-one.
And they got Order 66 going on right now, so you got stormtroopers shooting at you the moment you land.
Right. That was cool. So like they've done fractions of this event. So the first event they were cool. They just talk to you, no problem. They let you get you want. Now this one is Rhino said is Order 66. So the moment you drop in, all clone troopers are shoot on sight. So it's kind of crazy. But anyway, that's a really fun. I'm ready to see that portion of Fortnite and see how it plays. Starfield, the new Bethesda property that's coming out, the space exploration one, gave me some of my biggest happy moments recently with their most recent news drop. Their ESRB rating came out, and what did they rate it? They didn't rate it M.
I think it is M.
M for drug use, in-game purchases, and my favorite, jetpack sex.
Okay.
So hold on now. As soon as I heard that, I said, "No, okay, now jetpack sex? Is it sex with the jetpack?"
So from what I understand, there is a scene where two of the characters are laying in bed, and it looks like they had just got done copulating. And the woman leans over and says, "That was amazing. Next time, let's do it without the jetpacks."
Damn it!
And my man's like, nah, the jetpack stay on when I'm clapping cheeks.
I was gonna be like, this jetpack, we could take it for a ride around the planet's upper atmosphere if you want.
If I can't clap those cheeks in the ionosphere, I don't want it.
The jetpack has the button where you turn it, just turns into one of those really soft pink pillows. I don't know. I'm very excited to see what happens with Starfield with this ridiculous nonsense. This past week was the Diablo IV server slam. They allowed anybody, if you owned the game, pre-purchased the game or not, to just jump straight in and play up to level 20 in a very minimalized area. They had the world boss available. They had dungeons available.
If I may, as somebody who has literally never even seen gameplay of this franchise going into Diablo 4, I rolled the dice on it. This isn't even the style of games that I usually play. I was blown away by Diablo. It was incredible.
So our good friend Josh and I play an exorbitant amount of Diablo. We've played Diablo growing up. That's one of those games that when it's
I have
out,
also played it, just not with you.
You just get on it, and it's such a grindy, try hard game sometimes. But
I love it.
It's incredible. And we told Rhino, we're like, listen, bud, we love you to death. We're gonna be playing Diablo 4. We know this is a game you're not gonna like. It's not your style, but if you want to check it out, if you want to play games with us when this one comes out, that's what we're gonna be playing. And I think we peer pressured him a little bit.
100%.
But he got on. I'll take that. That's fair. And that was the goal, to peer pressure him into it, to bully him into paying his hard-earned money for this game. And I'm glad to hear you say that you enjoyed the beta, which is,
I loved it.
Honestly, Nello, having been a previous Diablo player, very small serving size for what we're going to get.
That map's going to be huge. There's going to be a lot to do. There's going to be DLCs that come out over time. I thought it was great. It looked great. I thought it looked better than D3.
Big time.
I didn't like. D3 looked a little bit too cartoony, animated. I loved it way better than Diablo Immortal. That paywall.
Well,
piece
3'd
of
been
shit.
out way before Immortal,
Right.
but there's going to be seasons in this one, which is new to Diablo, which is going to be new content, new enemies, new events. So that's going to make the only problem I had with Diablo 3 go away. And that was after a certain while, there's only a certain amount of things you can do. And with seasons keeping the game fresh and updating and getting new classes and new world bosses and new things to fight, I think that's a fantastic idea.
Although the world bosses, holy crap, this damn
That
thing.
may have been one of the most difficult bosses, and I played Destiny religiously. Did all the raids, fought all them bosses. This boss that we did over the weekend is one of the most difficult video game bosses I've ever gone up against because there
You
was
guys
just
beat him?
there was literally nothing that we could do.
It was me and one other guy who you could tell actually were big time. The one guy was really super geared out, but with all of us staying alive,
And there was like 5 other people there.
yeah, meant nothing. We had 12 people in the lobby.
Yeah.
Fighting, and it didn't work.
No, I did it one time because of work or whatever, and like we didn't even get a quarter of the way down, and
Yeah.
like I had to go back into town and get my EQ like repaired at least twice.
During the fight.
I did.
Yeah,
I did
man.
it twice.
It was
I did
bad.
it twice during the fight.
Dude,
Wow.
he just would do that stupid like swap, and
Yeah.
it would just take out 3/4 of the map.
Yeah.
Unless you got under his nuts and just started hacking
Uh-huh.
him there,
Hence
you
the
weren't
road.
getting anywhere. And then he did that poison. No matter how many poison potions you had,
Yeah,
you were going down.
it was tough.
Hold on, so this isn't like just like a button press thing. This is like an actual kind of fight 'em.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah,
This is not a turnstile fighter,
dude, this has
a,
got your name written.
Yeah,
all over.
dude, it's live action fighting. You're not taking turns like one of those games.
It is a little button mashy, but it's not like
not any more button mashy than any other game.
true.
Yeah,
You
I mean you're
have a
you're
little-
mashing buttons in Destiny, you're mashing buttons in any other game like that. I mean it's a continuous fight where you're nonstop fighting.
You're circling skills and cycling,
And you
them
can't just like randomly build. Oh, I'm gonna do this slash today. And then like you need to focus on a build, and that's what you got to do
and you
in
need
order to maximize how good your
and,
character is.
and gear hunt for that.
Oh my
specific-
god, that's the grind, is getting the right gear.
Dungeons,
I know
public events, dude.
about
It was sick, dude. And like I said before, take it from somebody who came into the game
Never.
entirely blind.
Never.
I never even watched Jack play it. I loved it. It
So
was
does
incredible.
That boss fight feel like a Monster Hunter fight?
No, it felt harder than a Monster Hunter
It
fight.
felt like
But I mean,
Monster
like,
Hunter
same
with
thing.
like
Yeah,
steroids.
I'm in.
It doesn't have the cats.
Man,
though.
that
I'm
is
just
the
warning you.
quickest convincing of Ryan we've
Mhm.
ever had.
I think you would like it, Ryan. I
Nice.
think you would like it.
I've been looking for a new grinder to play. So
Dude, you wanna talk
gonna
about
This
be-
is Grind City, dude. We played that game. What we play it Saturday night for probably about 4 hours.
We played it for both nights, several hours, just trying.
And yeah, I mean, you're talking about back-to-back nights, 4 or 5 hours each night, and we only made it. I had just barely made it to 20 before the world boss fight.
Mhm.
I woke up
Actually,
Sunday morning.
no, we had we had an hour to get him through level 18 to 20, and
Yep.
we had to grind him through a couple of dungeons, and like literally 30 minutes before the boss appeared is when he got to level 20, and then we got to do a couple other things and then run to the fight.
Yep.
Diablo.
One thing
by
about
the way.
Diablo 4 before I go, I'm
Go ahead.
sorry. That new I don't know, that coin or token thing when you go through the dungeons and you get those specialized thing. What do you guys feel about? What do you feel about that? Being a veteran,
I love it.
you know what I mean? Like
I love
each dungeon, like oh, you do this way, you get this sort of token or whatever. Do you like that added incentive to
Well,
go
so-
through all the dungeons? Or
So those are class specific aspects. Now, aspects are abilities that you can attach onto your gear for your character. So those dungeons are going to rotate, and different aspects are going to be available at different strength. So you need to be keeping an eye out. And what I'll probably end up doing is just unlocking the entire map so I can go to any of these dungeons. And this is only in freaking Zone 1, which we don't even know if we have all of Zone 1.
right?
And by the way, it's open world. So if you want to run to Zone 5 in the beginning of the map, you can do that. It's crazy. But then you take those aspects and you put them in your gear to grind up your specific character. So let's say I play a druid, you play a rogue, he plays barbarian, Rhino plays necromancer. We're going to find those dungeons that have those aspects that are going to go towards the build we want, and we're going to grind them and grind them and grind them until we get the one that we want, and then move on. That's the kind of stuff that I'm here for. Let me just, okay, sure. Is this the night that we're going to go hit the dungeons? Let's go.
It just never feels old, right?
It doesn't feel old because I personally think Diablo is 1,000 times better playing with your friends.
Agreed.
Playing it alone is still an excellent experience, and I love it, and I do it. Obviously, I've sunk hundreds of hours into the Diablo franchise, but with friends and grinding out for their builds and doing what they need it's just as fun.
Now, can I ask?
Well, that's the biggest. I'm sorry. Go ahead.
You were talking about the aspects and different things. So say we go do this thing, and I get something that I don't use.
Trading.
Like, can I use it on another character? Like, can I
Yes.
save it and just
Yep.
like
You can send it
pop
to him.
out that? Okay,
Yeah. Well, and your aspects are account wide. So once you
all right,
unlock
so
them,
that's good. I hate playing certain games where like
I didn't
you
get a lot of
grind
drops
and waste your time.
of like EQ that I couldn't like. You do get wands and crap like that if you're a barb, but like the good legendary or like the good EQ is usually class specific to you. I didn't get a legendary mask that I couldn't wear most of the time, or at least in the beta. In the two,
It is like
betas-
Destiny
in the two
though,
betas.
where if you're playing as a Titan and you got a warlock drop, it doesn't mean you just can't use it. You could throw it in the vault, and then when you're on your warlock, go pick it up and put it on.
Okay,
Right,
that's
it's like
what I
that.
want to say. I
Yeah,
want to make
it's
sure
like that.
not time wasted, because I know certain games like you could just do things and just be wasting your time.
mm-hmm.
So,
Bro, trust me. There's
But you do have to put the effort into having multiple characters though. You can't just play one character. You got to do 2 or 3 characters to make it worth your while.
bro, is this
don't
guy
don't be
new?
offended. Don't be offended.
Like, I never played Destiny before in my life, and then the first day I maxed out 3 characters, bro.
3 characters in one day.
I had nothing better to do on a Sunday.
Solid. Holy
Like,
shit.
Let's go, bro. I'm here for it. Talk about grind. Like, you guys are 4 hours.
God,
Child's
I'm
play.
here for that too. I wish I could do that.
You're talking
boy.
about a guy who literally put 96 days into the division just
Yeah.
a year in.
Yeah, that's crazy.
Literal 96 days. I forget what it's like, 1,500 hours or something like that.
It's insane.
Got
Damn.
nothing but time.
You're gonna
dog.
max out
Yeah.
more than 2 or 3 characters.
So if you've purchased the game early, and if I'm talking to you, all of this stuff probably isn't surprising. You can download the game and play it on June 2nd.
was it 4 days in advance, right?
Yeah, so you get it before that Tuesday that it unlocks. You get it Friday.
Oh, that's bullshit.
You're gonna order.
So
You can still go pre-order it.
No, I mean, I'm going to be out of town that weekend.
oh,
Oh, so you're not even gonna be able to play with us, bro. We're gonna be maxed out, and we're not even gonna want to play with you.
I have to go to a got to go to a
Uh,
recital.
I'd like to add one more thing about Diablo, if I may.
I think you should. Jeez.
I'm sorry, and it's not even about the gameplay. So I'm part of. So I go on the internet a lot. I waste a lot of time on the internet,
Yeah,
Facebook.
yeah.
Dude, I'm part of this Diablo group, right, on Facebook, and
First of all,
literally,
let's preface this that this isn't the internet. The space
internet.
that he's about to talk about
right.
is the internet.
And
Please proceed.
I just want to know, like, at what point you don't like the game? You don't have to announce that you returned the game, that you want everybody to return the game because it's not made for you. You don't like it. Good. We're not going to miss you at all. You don't want to
That's
play
true.
with us? That's great.
That's true.
But I don't need to see post after post after post of them just shitting on this game when Blizzard actually did a really good job.
No, bro,
here's
I'm
the
going to
thing.
miss him.
Here's the thing. This is the one where like it befuddles me, if you will. Like so many of us have played games that when you pop it in the system, that's the game you get. Like
Mhm.
nobody was going into GoldenEye going, oh, the AK-47's OP. You need to nerf it. You got what you got and you played with it. And these people, the same people who are complaining about this, are out here going, that's one of the greatest games of all time, and it wasn't live service. So people hate stuff. So the developers go, okay, well, we're going to go in and we're going to fix it. And somebody who's been benefiting off of that goes, well, this sucks. I can't believe you did that. It's like it comes and goes, right? The game evolves now as you play. That's the whole new just kind of landscape of gaming as it is. So I don't understand.
Nello talking about people complaining on the internet reminded me of that James Franco meme. It's like, first time, huh?
Yeah.
Yeah.
No, but literally, it's like, oh, this game was great. I loved it. I can't wait to play. And then 7 posts of like, I'm returning the game because it's not Diablo 1 or 2. Blah, 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 blah. I'm like, dude, shut up, man.
Hey, then
Listen,
go play Diablo 1 and go play Diablo 2 and shut the fuck up.
If you don't like something, you are fully capable, and this may come as a shock, of just doing what you're going to do and not telling anyone.
You don't like it, don't buy it.
thank you.
I
You
mean,
don't like it,
who's going to
don't
go and
play
go, oh, man, Billy McGillicuddy's returning Diablo 4. Maybe I should do that.
Billy McGillicuddy.
McGillicuddy.
It's just, I don't know. Let's talk about the other AAA slam dunk, one of the best reviewed games of all time that came out, yes, this recent weekend.
Bubble?
Zelda, Tears of the Kingdom, got a 10 on IGN. It also got one of the best. It was one of the best reviewed games ever on Open Critic, which is where anybody can go in and review a game. That's where those people on the internet that Nello was talking about, all of them can go and review this game. It has gotten to be one of the best reviewed games I've ever seen for the amount of time that it's been out.
It's honestly making me want to pick it up, to be honest with you.
Me too, but
I've never played a Zelda game ever.
Honestly, that's what got me. Like Diablo, I was like, or Zelda. And I don't know what to grab yet.
First of all, Diablo for me is going to take the cake because it's a multiplayer. That's the only thing. If Zelda Tears of the Kingdom was freaking multiplayer, I'm in. Let's talk.
But it's also console too. I mean,
right. And this one is
there is no multiplayer for Zelda, right?
Hey, it's a console. The Switch is a console.
Well, you get what I mean.
Diablo's PC too.
I have to agree with Rhino about the Switch being okay, go ahead.
One of the greatest consoles ever made.
Yeah.
Sure.
So apparently it takes about 48 hours to beat the main storyline.
No, it don't.
To beat the main storyline, and it's as it was intended. But yes, during that weekend, there was already a speedrunner who beat the game in 94 minutes.
I don't think you enjoy the game when you're beating it that fast.
I think that's their own.
They do. That's
thing,
the way they like to play it.
But I don't get it. I don't have to get it.
Yeah.
I don't have to get it, but why would I buy this game that I could sink all that time into and have really a good experience with it to beat it in an hour and a half and go, well, I'm done.
You gotta understand it's this also this dude's job. I mean, he's a streamer and he actually does speed runs on games on purpose for his community. So he's actually generating revenue on it. He's not doing it just for shits and gigs.
I mean, a lot of them do just enjoy it, just like you like to play Diablo, Ben max it out. He likes to try to run something and beat it, get his time down as fast as he possibly can.
Hey, good for you. I personally don't get it. I'm not going to be that guy who just bought a brand new, at this point, $70 game and go home and be like, hey guys, I'm going to beat this thing as fast as humanly possible.
So our Resident Zelda third, have you played it?
No.
I was pissed that I beat Fallen Order as quickly as I did.
Yeah.
I haven't 100%ed it yet, but I beat the storyline and it probably took 20 hours.
So that was going to be my next point. 48 hours to beat just the main storyline. And I can't even imagine how much side stuff there is in Tears of the Kingdom. This is just like a shining, crowning achievement for any single player game, if you ask me. I mean, any single player game could take notes from the way Nintendo has done Tears of the Kingdom.
I don't know. See, that's one of the things I hear 48 hours to beat this. That's what kind of gets me out of it. I don't know if it's a linear story. That's what I enjoyed about Breath of the Wild, was that it was not linear. And then I could go play it however I wanted to.
No, this one's the same way.
Okay.
Yeah. This is an open world game. You do whatever you want, however you want. I don't know, man. I think it's going to be one of those games that's talked about as an all-time great when it's all said and done. Because first of all, Breath of the Wild was one of the most revolutionary games of all time.
I put that up there as an all-time great.
Yeah. I mean,
I think it'll be up there for Game of the Year next year for sure.
I think it wins Game of the Year. I don't think there's even a discussion.
Well, it'll compete with Diablo. It'll compete with Fallen Order as the main titles, and then you'll get those random weird games in there that'll compete for it too. I feel like Game of the Year has really turned into like the Oscars, where they have to add these weird, random, unheard of games that don't take the main headlines in as best game.
And I think to me there's a reason for that in gaming, because the gaming universe is almost as diverse as the movie universe.
Yeah, for sure.
I don't know, man. I can't stand the Oscars because of how full of themselves they are. I've never started playing a game after it won Game of the Year and it all of a sudden started getting snooty with me.
You're not wrong there. You're not wrong at
all. Tears of the Kingdom. Go check it out. I've heard fantastic things. If I get it and I pick it up, I'll give you guys my opinion, give me my little review. But from what I've seen, the way people are reacting to this and critics are reacting to it, it's lightning in a bottle, man.
I don't think you're gonna like it because you didn't like the first one.
I didn't. The first one was overwhelming. It was such a big game, and I didn't like that my gear broke all the time.
It's the same thing. It hasn't changed. That's
we'll
what
see.
I'm saying.
We'll see. It's a fun game. It's just, I start playing that, and after an hour of playing it, somebody goes, "You want to play this other game?" And it's a multiplayer game. I'm like, yeah, let's do it. Yeah. That's the biggest drawback for me with that particular game. Let's get into Marvel. I had a couple of things I wanted to talk about, but we're running a little long, so let's get into Guardians of the Galaxy Volume 3. we will do
Yes.
as we always do and give you our unspoilery opinion. And
You want to
then,
do a 0 to 10?
sure, we can do a 0 to 10, but we'll do the unspoilery opinion. We will talk about our opinions on it in a very generic way and then go deep dive into the spoilers. So, if you don't want to hear anything about Guardians of the Galaxy 3, it's been great. We loved having you. Have a wonderful week. We'll see you next week. But we're getting into it right meow. So let's talk about Guardians of the Galaxy and let's do a 1 out of 10, starting with Mr. Nello.
I fell asleep halfway through. Too many vitamins.
All right. Cool. So let's go to Ryan. This is
difficult.
compared not as overall movies in general. This is just as Marvel
Just
movies.
as Marvel movies, just as they go.
Yeah.
I mean, it'd probably give it like an 8.5.
That's a pretty high score for you.
That's a high score for you.
That's fucking high. Let me be real.
Yeah.
I am going to give it an 11.
I knew that was coming.
See, I
As
knew
soon as he
11.
saw it, he's like, "Oh my god!"
I'm giving it an 11.
Too.
11.
And to be honest with you, I did not go into it with the utmost hype like I have normally with Marvel movies, just because the last couple movies have been a little disappointing. So I was a little eerie about it. Not like DCU movie eerie, but I was like, all right, I'm not sure what to expect here.
Eerie
I think he meant Larry.
or weary?
Weary, leery, eerie,
Eerie is like you're scared.
Like
weary, excuse me.
Pennsylvania?
Weary. Chet, cross off eerie.
Cross.
I was a little reserved. I was a little reserved.
Mouse. Sorry, I'm yelling.
But yeah, it's an 11. It's just like that little clip of Homelander. It was perfect, right down to every minute detail.
Hmm.
I'm going to give it a 10.
I knew
will
that was
give it
gonna
a 10.
happen. I knew that was gonna happen.
I give it a 10. I can see why you give it the 11 and try to break that, but I'll give it a 10. As far as Marvel movies go, this was, to me, the best non-Avengers movie that Marvel has put out. This was the best solo movie of any of the one franchises that they've had. And to me, it solidified Guardians as the best trilogy of anything Marvel has put out.
Whoa, best trilogy, better than
By far.
Avengers, Iron Man.
No, it's not a non-Avengers. Better than Iron Man, better than Captain America. Definitely just dogs Thor. Yeah, better
Even
than
Spider-Man, because we've had 3 Spider-Man movies now. It's better than that.
Better than-
I left the theater with the same sentiment. I left the theater thinking, man, that's the best non-Avengers movie I've ever seen. And then by the time I got home, I was struggling to think that the Avengers were better than that. Like, I'm sitting here with the mindset that might actually be the best singular movie the MCU has ever put out.
Wow.
Wow. I'm not. Okay.
I'm still gonna go with Infinity War for me. That's still
110%.
that's still the top of the food chain for me.
And I wouldn't say you're wrong. But
Yeah, it's my opinion.
The argument is there to be made for me, in my opinion, is what I'm saying.
For sure. There's no wrong opinion to have when it comes to that. In this movie, you can't tell me a bad thing about it. You can't sit here and say, better than Captain America. Better than First Avenger,
That's my
better than Winter
favorite.
Soldier, better than Civil War.
That's my favorite. And I'm gonna get a lot of shit because I love Tony Stark. but
I love
Captain America was a great movie.
I'm putting Captain America at number 2 for sure in terms of trilogies.
Damn.
And then I'm going to put Iron Man, then I'm going to put Ant-Man, then I'm going to put Thor.
So okay, I know I'm gonna go off, deviate a little bit, but you guys said this was so good. If this is the pinnacle of MCU, does that mean everything is downhill without James Gunn? Are you worried about that? Is what I should say.
No,
because James Gunn didn't do the Avengers. James Gunn didn't do any of the Captain Americas or any of the Iron Men. So he's only done one trilogy.
There's also a lot more of a serving size to come from the MCU than just this, but this was definitely the best. It sucks that he's leaving. It sucks that he's probably taking at minimum 50% of the Guardians with him. But I'm happy that I got what I got.
It definitely restored faith in the upcoming phases for sure.
See, that's one of the things I don't understand how, but I'll go with that.
Why do you think that it doesn't restore the faith for the upcoming Marvel projects?
we're not really spoiling things, but
No spoilers yet.
I'm gonna try to be as unspoilery as possible.
Okay. We can ask the question later if you
But
want to
this
wait.
movie,
Yeah, we can answer this later in a couple minutes if you want.
I think I can answer it. For me, I know you guys think it's great. For me, it's more Guardians, people that we're comfortable with that we know. Same thing. Didn't do anything for me. It's
Gotcha.
great.
I see what you
Like it's cool, but I don't see it didn't push anything. It didn't move the story. We got a love letter, is what we got from James
I
Gunn.
get that. I get
And
that.
and
That's
nothing you're saying there is in my opinion really wrong.
So basically,
Um,
same Guardians, different day.
Exactly.
It wasn't meant to further the overall storyline though. It was meant to be a closing of the chapter.
That's 100% true. But every single Guardian, if you're thinking of the Guardians, you're like, man, I really love Mantis. Mantis is my favorite Guardian. I really hope she gets her moment in the sun.
Said no one ever.
Whoever you pick as that Guardian gets that moment in this movie.
That's
Every single one
All
of them gets a great moment. And I will say this.
straight fanfare. That's what this is.
Legit.
Barring a couple of the all-out open battle scenes and war scenes, the best fight scene the MCU has done is in this movie.
Better than the airport scene in Civil War, because that was my personal favorite. Was the airport scene?
The New York scene when they come after the Tesseract was also a great scene.
That's one that's also an open battle scene that's excluded from.
Yeah, that's an Avengers level scene. I don't count that.
You're right. That's an epic scene, and the Wakanda battle when they're running across the river. That's my favorite. Just one of my favorite action scenes of all time.
Yeah.
But this scene in Guardians, this fight that they have, is to me just the best. And yeah, it's fan service. It's a love letter. It's great. I'm a fan. So it was made for me. So every second of it, I just loved.
So James Gunn played your keystrokes perfectly.
He played everybody's keystrokes that likes these characters.
Dude, the movie was emotionally captivating right out of the gate. Out of the gate, it got you on the edge of your seat like, holy shit, what's about to happen? And it maintained that level of emotion throughout the entire movie.
And you guys know me.
I must not have a heart.
I like to pick a
I don't feel
character
that same way.
that I'm like, I don't know if this character belongs here, or I don't know if this scene belongs in the movie. And that is something that didn't exist in this. There was no wasted space, no wasted time, no wasted emotion. I thought that the entire runtime of this movie, and it's like 2.5 hours. It's crazy long.
Yeah.
The whole thing, none of it's wasted space. It's all just excellent filmmaking.
What about the villain? Did you guys enjoy the villain?
I enjoyed
Loved
him.
him.
I enjoyed him.
Whoa, somebody
Get that
said
careful.
negative.
I
Why?
think for a standalone villain, one that's we obviously how am I going to say this without spoiling it?
Yeah, we'll get into spoilers, so don't say.
Yeah, I'll come back to that.
I thought he was okay. I did not like him more than I liked Shang-Chi's dad, more than I like Thanos. There's other villains that I have thought a lot more of in the franchises. So no, he was great. And the reason I think a lot of people love him so much is because he pushed the Guardians. He drove them to feel a certain way and act a certain way. So that's great. But in terms of his overall, when you put all the villains in line, he's not in my top list. I'm going Thanos, Shang-Chi's dad, Loki right off the bat. And
well,
then
you gotta separate. That's what I was talking about. You gotta separate the villains though. Thanos was a reoccurring villain. He had a story arc. Same with Loki.
Yeah, he's right.
Shang-Chi's dad only had the one movie. He was only the villain.
Still one of my favorites.
But what I'm saying is that's how I would compare the villains. So in terms of just a standalone one movie villain, he's up there for me towards the top.
And I mean, technically, Thanos is really only in what, 2 movies?
Yeah. Well, he's in 3.
I mean, he's in 3, but I mean, technically, it's Endgame.
But okay, but if I'm
like,
taking singular
Infinity War.
performances too,
Yeah.
I'll take the Infinity War performance for Thanos. I'll take the original Avengers for Loki, and Shang-Chi. Obviously, I'll take Shang-Chi.
Would you take Red Skull or would you take this guy?
No, God, no.
The
Red
human
Skull.
evolution.
Red Skull probably for me too.
Yeah. Honestly, just because of the way he pushed the story, I don't like what happened with Red Skull. I really expected a lot more from him, but I felt more for Red Skull than I did for this guy.
Would you do the Mandarin or would you take the High Evolutionary.
High Evolutionary 10 times out of 10.
All right, so he's not that bad then.
No,
should
he's
admit to you.
great. He's great. I'm just saying I like these other villains more.
Okay.
So let's. I don't really know what else we can talk about.
We gotta
without
go
spoiling
spoilers.
this movie.
We
So
gotta
Spoil this
spoilers.
damn thing, son.
guys, it's been fun. If you don't want to get this movie spoiled and you're ready to go see it in theaters, enjoy. We appreciate you coming in to listen to episode 146. We'll see you on the flippity flip. But if you've seen Guardians and you would like to see the spoiler reaction from us here in the Alter Ego crew, now's your time. I'm going to give you the 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2,
Uno.
1, and we're in spoiler territory.
Nice.
Hallway fight. Hallway fight.
The hallway fight was just it was perfect. It was perfect. Every single Guardian has their moment in every single way, and that hallway fight kind of exemplifies that times 1,000. Star-Lord put a discharger on someone's taint.
Yeah.
Shut up.
I'm like, as soon as
wish
I
I
saw
didn't
that, I was
pass
like, he
out.
got that dude on the taint. It was so good, but they showed every GD emotion they could in this movie. There is a time where Star-Lord looks to Groot and says, kill them all. Kill them all. Not, let's do this. Let's go to our superhero mission. Kill them all. I was like, oh. And Star-Lord was not playing.
When's the last time you got that out of a Marvel movie where it was just blatant, flat out, kill every fucking person in this room?
Yep.
We haven't had that.
No, you've never had that in the MCU if it was not a villain.
Oh, Captain didn't
I
even
was
say
gonna
that
say,
in Wakanda
Yeah.
when they were invading the
I mean-
in Infinity War or whatever.
Yeah. Got Adam Warlock, who James Gunn said Adam Warlock was the hardest person to put into this movie.
I was gonna
I
ask
I can
about
see
that.
it. I don't know where he fit.
I agree. I think it was kind of clunky having him and the Sovereign in that movie. However, those are puzzle pieces, right? The Sovereign Mother and Adam Warlock being in this movie, it was Marvel saying to James, listen, they've got to be in the movie because there are big plans for them down the road.
Well, big plans for Adam. I mean, the mother's dead.
yeah. But she's a driving force for Adam and why he does the thing.
for sure.
Could we consider her a bad mother?
No.
No. Okay.
No, she babied the shit out of him.
And she tried to fight the High Evolutionary for him.
I've been reading a lot of
We'll
things
argue.
about the whole like Adam Warlock, things like that. Why was it just not so much the portrayal of how he played the actor, but a lot of things that I read online were just like it just didn't fit. It just wasn't the right.
Well,
Man,
he was meant to be portrayed as a child. That's why he was like that. I mean, I'm sure when we see him in future movies, he's going to be a lot more mature, but he specifically was written that way because he just came out of the cocoon.
And they'd said that he was taken out early because of the High Evolutionary.
Fuck that guy.
Which that was kind of an interesting tidbit that the Sovereign existed because the High Evolutionary created them.
Yeah.
I was like, oh, I didn't know that. Cool. Okay. For me, the reason, let me add more details to why I say the High Evolutionary isn't high on that list for me, is because he didn't seem to me, and this is weird, like a legitimate threat to our Guardians at any time. I never felt like he had any chance to kill anybody that was important.
See,
Well, Rocket was the one that ended up putting the kill shot on him too. So I mean, that tells you a lot about him.
We knew that was going to happen.
Yeah.
I mean, that was one of those things when you saw what happened with Rocket, that would have been the biggest spoiler or biggest change or plot twist of all time if the High Evolutionary got one over on Rocket.
I thought the performance by the actor was great. I thought the way they wrote the High Evolutionary probably could have been better. But I thought the performance by the man himself, I loved his performance as the High
Don't get me
Evolutionary.
wrong, he was good. But to me, I'm like, you guys, they fought Ronan the Destroyer. They fought in Thanos. Who was the last one?
Yeah.
They faced Ego.
Ego.
And now we've got
Ego,
a guy who
yeah.
makes people.
Yeah.
Like, you just went way down.
And he
You went
had
from
the
up here to
gravity manipulation thing, which was cool. I mean, was he ruthless? That was his best quality, was that he was ruthless and he had no regard for life whatsoever.
That's
So
also because he
that-
created it. God complex, you know?
Yeah, for sure.
I mean, in defense of what you just said, when they fought Ego, I mean, they were also fighting him with Peter, who was half celestial at the time. So there is that.
And they had discovered that Mantis could put his ass to sleep, but still, they fought a planet. They fought the Mad Titan. They fought Ronan with an Infinity Stone. The Guardians had a high pedestal when it came to villains that they were going to face. And the High Evolutionary was brutal. And he was one of the best story driving villains that we've seen in a long time. It made you care about Rocket. It made you think about the iterations of Rocket you've seen in the prior two Guardians movies. And that's the way that he is. There's a point where Nebula, who, speaking of Guardians, who had a heyday and did a great job. She was a bright star in this movie. I loved every ounce of her performance. She looks at the camera and goes, "That's worse than what Thanos did to me." And I was like, "Ugh, that's got to be terrible."
I think her best moment in that entire movie was when they announced that Rocket was alive, that he survived, and she starts crying
instantly
starts crying. Like, you saw for the first time in her history in the MCU, you saw the humanity side of her.
No, she cried in Endgame.
What?
She cried in Endgame.
No, she didn't.
She did.
When
Gamora died, she cried.
No, she didn't.
She didn't die in Endgame. She died in Infinity War.
She got upset.
She got upset. And
she got upset. She didn't cry.
He went to Vormir with her. He came back with the stone. I know what happened. She did have some emotion, but it was nothing like this. And that's when I say, like, every Guardian had their moment to shine. Because
even Raglan.
Yeah, Kraglin. Yeah.
Or Raglan. Even Kraglin had his moment at the end.
How about
you saw that coming, though? That was a little thing for me too. A lot of this was just like straight, you saw it all coming. And I'm just like, okay. It's a movie,
but it was done. It was done well, though. I mean, even if you predicted it to happen, it was still done well when it did happen.
The best part of that movie is it could have been when she's like, and she's a good dog. If it would have been hilarious, if you'd been like, no, you're still a bad dog. That would have made me absolutely just die laughing.
Yeah.
But
Cosmo, to mention that character.
Did you guys feel like you guys got closure with the Guardians?
Big time.
100%.
Did it just job? That was a
I mean, that's what it was. That's why I said it's a love letter.
And I like that Gamora at the end does not go, you know what? The team's back together. I love you, Star-Lord. I'm coming with you. I
like that a lot too.
I love that she was like, y'all seem cool. I'm out. I was like, thank you. This is not the same Gamora.
Yeah.
So for her to be like all of a sudden in love with Peter, that didn't make sense. And the growth that I liked with that was Peter was like, I love you. I really want to be with you. We used to be great. To listen, shut the fuck up. We're going to go save my friend. If you're not with this shit, then jump in the escape pod.
Yeah. The only thing I think I kind of had a little beef with was like, I get Peter going back to Earth, but it's like, bro, you've been living in space for like the last weeks. You mean to tell me mowing the neighbor's yard and sitting there reading the newspaper?
Well, I think they had to bring him back to Earth if they want to include him somehow in the upcoming Avengers movies. I think that's how. I think that's how he gets included in that.
It's 100% true.
Yeah, I mean,
he was in the Avengers movies and he was still in space. I don't get that. I think.
But the only reason why they went to he got involved is because of Thor. Though Thor has been to Earth. If they don't find Thor floating out in space, how do they ever go to Earth?
Right. Unless Peter goes, I really want to go back home.
Yeah.
I think that Star-Lord being on Earth is going to be a big deal when Secret Invasion is a thing that happens. Because he's from space and he'll pick up on a lot of things that people on Earth just won't.
Secret Invasion or Secret Wars?
About Secret Invasion. Not to go off topic, but there's
I've
great
heard
things coming out from that show.
Yeah, I'm excited. When does Secret Invasion drop again? I ask this almost every week, I feel.
I still don't think they have an exact date yet.
Really?
I think that's
it
has to come out before the Marvels or whatever, right?
Not necessarily.
No. Yeah, I don't think they have. Maybe
June
not.
21st.
I thought June.
Woo, that's pretty soon.
Diablo and Secret Invasion. What are you going to spend your time on?
Diablo and Secret Invasion and my exquisite little daughter.
You only need 40 minutes to watch one of those episodes.
But let's say Groot had some great movements. I just want to kind of run through the Guardians before we say goodbye. Groot growing wings
to fly out of there.
Not to mention, like, we talk about the emotion. There's a scene where Star-Lord is drowning a man in a river while he's prying a computer out of his head with a knife.
I mean, he was already dead, but he was probably
You think so?
Yeah. When he hit the ground, that's what he said. He's like, I'm not dying.
I just want to ask you one question. So I asked Ryan, and Rhino says that it's restored faith in the MCU.
Sure.
What about you? After Guardians,
I was not one that had lost a ton of faith. I was still I was like, we got things to go. I've always said there's puzzle pieces out there that we're missing, and they're going to come back, and it's going to be aha moments. It didn't restore my faith, but it damn sure didn't do anything to damage it. If anything, it made me 10 times happier that Feige's still in charge, and we've got more stuff coming out from this movie.
At the same time, it made me sad though.
Yeah, then we're not going to get that group.
Yeah.
And yeah,
he did a great job. Like I said, I mean, don't get me wrong. I mean, I gave it an 8 just because I have some beefs or whatever with it, but not much.
Mm-hmm.
In your score, that's high,
thing.
bro.
It was kind of the same thing, you know what I mean? But I love the movie. I didn't fall asleep at all.
Yeah.
I mean, I only slept 3 hours a night before I went and saw it.
Yeah.
What?
So I did not fall asleep at all.
Wow.
Like it's
high praise there.
So it's like Groot had great moments in there. Nebula had one of the best arcs in all of the Guardians franchise, which culminated in this movie. Mantis showed the biggest part of why she's a part of the team right now. Christmas special did a little bit for her. This movie did a ton. This was really great to show why Mantis had so much value. Drax the Destroyer.
This is the first mention of Drax this whole time. I was just about to say that.
The odds-on favorite to die in this movie, the guy who we knew was done, he showed more emotion as this character than anybody has in terms of Drax in any other iterations of Drax, or not any other person, but him showing that father side of him to the kids.
He finally danced.
Him crying when Mantis was leaving, and that was big from Guardians too, when he's talking about how much he misses his daughter and his wife, and she touches his back, being that empath, and she just breaks down crying instantly. It shows that depth of feeling that Drax has. So to see him cry and to see him dance and do all that was major moments for his character. And the hallway fight starts with my man Drax. Him ripping that door open and giving them the let's go. I was so hyped. I could have jumped out of my seat. I was so excited. But I see why he's moving on. There's nothing more to explore from Drax. What did he want?
No evolution, the character.
What did Drax want? He wanted to kill Thanos and he wanted to kill Ronan. They're both dead.
Yeah.
What else does Drax have in terms of purpose in the MCU?
See, to me, that's when I actually expected him to fully die in this movie.
Yeah, me too.
Because to me, that would also made more weight. Drax is dead, or you could even he has a different form.
Does he evolve or anything like that? Nothing.
No,
he just
that
fades out into the distance.
I mean, he stays on Nowhere to help raise all those kids that they saved.
Mm-hmm.
Let's see who else. Gamora. Gamora was a welcome surprise with how soon she showed up. I thought the old Gamora that we met before she ever met the Guardians, this persona with them, felt more Guardians than the other iterations of Gamora. Does that make sense?
Mm-hmm.
The one thing I liked the most about Gamora, it was kind of there was a question mark as to what kind of Gamora you were going to see after Endgame, because she does have that sympathetic side after Endgame where she decides to turn on Thanos and help Nebula and fight Thanos, get the Infinity Stones back. She's even a part of that scene where it's all women, going into battle. But then she shows up in this one and she's just a complete bitch. I mean, for lack of a better term, I mean that's what she is for the movie. She shows up. She's a badass. She's a pirate. She's not taking any shit from anybody. She doesn't give a fuck about Peter Quill or how he feels about her. Pretty much almost the entire movie.
And that makes sense, right? Because that version of Gamora hasn't had the chance to be a part of the universe that's apart from Thanos.
Yep.
She was with Thanos, and she had a better opportunity to jump ship than our previous Gamora. So she didn't have all that soft side that the other Gamora did, which makes a lot of sense.
Plus she teamed up with the pirates first instead of teaming up with the Guardians. So yeah,
space pirates, essentially. Let's talk about the second most important person in this movie, which is Peter Quill. I think he had an interesting arc, him being like heavy into the alcohol and kind of being forced back into being Star-Lord, to me, right? Like he was ready to retire. He was done.
Yeah.
He didn't really care. He was like, okay, we're doing what we're doing. I miss my girl. And he was not ready to be a hero and be Star-Lord. And then when his friend got shot and almost killed, that's when he's like, okay, I'm going to do absolutely everything that I can to be this guy again. And then when he was done, go ahead.
I was going to say, I also loved it. You spoke about this a couple minutes ago. I love that transition he made, almost like with the snap of a finger, where he was finally like, you know what, fuck it. If you're not going to want to be a part of my life, then I'm going to go do what I have to do. You stay, you leave. I don't give a shit anymore.
Yeah. And that's what endeared her to him.
Yeah.
Yeah. Finally being a man. He was like, you know what?
Yeah.
This ain't important. I got more.
I don't have time for your shit. I need to go help my friend. You can fuck off. And I was like, damn, I didn't expect that to happen. I thought there was going to be that sappy stuff for the whole movie.
Yeah.
And that he finally would have let go of it after they saved Rocket. But it happened right in the middle. And it's like, boom, I got shit to do out of my life.
That's a dire situation where he had to make a choice. And Peter, as he always does, makes the right choice. He makes the choice he follows his heart, right? And that was what I think led him to leave the Guardians at the end and say, you know, I think my grandpa's probably still alive. I need to go and see him and do what I can do. And that's what he did. I thought it was a great thing. And then obviously the number one of this series, and I think the one actual Guardian we're going to get going forward, Mr. Rocket.
Yeah, Rocket.
He spent half the movie on a ventilator and still was the most important player in the entire movie.
Yeah, because his little otter girlfriend with the little nubs in the wall signature.
Lila Teefs and Floor.
Lila Teefs and Floor. Yeah.
His moment too, where he said, I'm done running. And that's like, that was at the beginning of the hallway scene. He's like, I'm done running, and turns towards the fight instead of trying to get away from the fight. Because we saw that with everything in Guardians, where at the beginning he wanted to run away from Ronan when he had the Infinity Stone. In Guardians 2, he wanted to get away from Ego as much as possible. But now he was a complete badass. He's like, fuck it, I'm going to go in here and kill everybody.
Right. And for him to go in and say, we're saving everybody. This is the one thing I loved about the Guardians 2, is there was never a debate, right? We're saving everybody. And everybody instantly was like, okay, this is what we're all doing. Our teammate, our captain has decided this was going to be the thing. That's what we're doing. And I loved that about the Guardians. I don't think there's been a team that's been quite like them in terms of their teamwork like that.
Would you like to see this high evolutionary back in something else, or in something, if they bring this character back? I don't know how, like I said, I was
about to say, the only way they're bringing him back is if he's got some kind of clone somewhere else that was watching.
Would ruin it.
Because
that would ruin it, yeah.
Would ruin Rocket's payoff. No, I don't think we see him again. And I don't think we need him, because the Sovereign aren't a big thing. The planet that he created, he creates them and then destroys
Earth.
So there was no need for him to do that again. I don't think he's got a purpose in the universe.
Well, I can tell you this too, with Kang being what he's going to be, like having actual more involvement in the production, unlike Thanos. You saw Thanos in a couple scenes in the first Guardians. You saw Thanos at the end of Avengers. You didn't really see him until Infinity War. Kang is going to be in everything. He's going to be in Loki. He's going to be in other movies. He was in Ant-Man. He's going to be in the Avengers. I don't think they're going to bring back any other villains for recurring villains during this phase.
Yeah. And it's got to happen. It's got to happen. Let's move on. Let's find other threats in the universe. Obviously, it's not going to be Denzel. It's Galactus, because he came out and said he's not going to.
Oh, my God.
I'm
that
sorry.
would be an awful casting for Galactus, dude.
I disagree.
Oh, come on. Galactus is not a gangster.
Nobody said Denzel's a gangster.
Well, Denzel's best roles is when he's a gangster.
What?
Okay. A Man on Fire.
He's not wrong.
A bodyguard.
He's still a gangster.
Training Day, he was a cop.
Gangster.
He was a cop.
Well, Training Day, he was a gangster.
What about when he was Coach Boone, huh, motherfucker?
Gangster.
No, I think this is your perception of him.
What about the Equalizer? He wasn't a gangster in the Equalizer.
You're right. He was a CIA gangster. Same thing.
I think he would just need to be a voice. They're not going to make him,
that's what it was.
They're not going to make Galactus look like Denzel.
I'd rather. What about Antonio?
What above all, don't got shit on me.
Yeah.
Antonio Banderas, he's also been rumored to that role.
Hey, listen, in Feige we trust. That's all I'm gonna say.
Hey, before we end the show, about these little rumors of the Fantastic Four castings, happy, unhappy, waiting to see. I mean, obviously, you're waiting to see if it's true, but
we don't have anything official yet.
Yeah,
I
we
know.
don't have anything official.
Adam Driver.
Adam Driver's kind of the
Margot
only one who's
Robbie.
semi-official. Margot
Which
Robbie
I'm-
looks perfect for the role. She looks just
I'm
like
100% okay with Adam Driver. I mean, if it's not going to be John Krasinski, I'm 1,000% okay with Adam Driver.
Wouldn't Adam Driver be a better Doctor Doom though?
no.
I'd rather see Henry.
Henry Cavill.
Cavill.
Henry Cavill.
That's our fan casting, and you're not changing it.
I don't want to change it.
All right, ladies and gentlemen, that's going to do it here for us at the Alter Ego Podcast. Hope you had a wonderful Mother's Day. Happy Monday, happy Tuesday, I guess, whatever. Just have a good week, okay? So I don't have to go through all the days of the week. But Wednesday, for sure, have a good one of those.
I love
I'm
you
going to go
guys.
get my fucking nickels back.
Let it go, push forward to Thursday, and then if it's Friday, you got to have a good Friday, and then, it's the freaking weekend, baby. It's time to wait for... Okay, no, you know what? Nope.